Just my question is about the option of of switching to a consumer economy that's very often debated as a way out of the crisis, right? And it's portrayed as a viable option. I just wonder if that's really the case. I mean, given the parameters of the fiscal constraints, aging population, high youth unemployment, housing crisis, and so forth. So would actually this shift be a realistic option for the Chinese government at the moment?
You know, I think that when people talk about a consumer-led economy, they often think of the U.S. and they think in judgmental terms about, credit card, swiping credit cards too often, borrowing too much money, this. But the way I think of it is, dictators want as much production and as little consumption as possible. And that is, because that means more benefits for the people at the top of the economy. I think that's, I could have plenty of comments about the U.S. economy in that regard as well. But at any rate, I think that that consumption is more desirable from an economic point of view. I think it's less desirable from a political control point of view, and therefore almost 0% chance of happening. The only possibility that China becomes more consumption oriented is that China has a political change. And so that would be surprising and radical. Under Xi Jinping, it's simply not going to happen. Consumption has already been declining as a portion of GDP, and I think is destined to continue to decline.
Yeah, I would agree with that it might be considered desirable for the economy, but politically is extremely difficult to bring about for the kind of points that Anne was making, that you also, to be able to stimulate the consumption in the economy, you've got to be able to reduce the savings. And if you don't have an effective infrastructure for welfare, for healthcare, pensions, et cetera, people are still going to keep saving. And one of the things that is quite clear is that the Chinese government does not believe in politics of redistribution. It has always resisted that. Its fiscal system is extremely regressive, favoring elites and favoring the wealthy, and none of that would encourage a shift to a more consumer and consumption-driven economy. And where we talk about consumption, a lot of it is state consumption, of course, not individual households to a large extent.
You also have to have stuff to spend money. You have to have stuff to spend money on. So, the number of Chinese people I know who are moving to Canada and the United States in order to get their children out of that educational system is really very high. And I think that, being able to choose your educational system, being able to access better quality health care, better quality financial services, being able to travel. There's a lot of crackdown on people leaving China right now. Those are all consumption items, and they're being reduced now.